Knight Rider, the classic 80s action show about a man and his talking car solving crimes and fighting bad guys. Sounds like a cool concept for a video game, right? Well, of course it does. So they made one for the Nintendo. I'm RC, and today I'm going to play and review this thing. Let's get started. First of all, I'm a little disappointed the classic Knight Rider theme isn't actually the title screen music. That said, the one we got is still pretty cool. So you have two options, Mission and Drive. Mission mode is the main game, and Drive mode is just where you casually drive Kit around with no enemies or weapons. They really meant what they said on the box. Anyway, let's start the game up. As soon as you start, you get to talk to Devin, who explains the situation to Michael and Kit. It's a really cool little sequence, with Michael complaining about the job interrupting his vacation day, just like he does in the show all the time. 8-bit Devin looks pretty accurate too. The only real problem with this sequence is how slow it is. Sure, you can skip it, but the first time you play, you want to read it. But it just takes forever. Devin goes on to explain that some terrorists have stolen a bunch of weapons from the government, and Michael and Kit are the only ones who can stop them by chasing them across the country. When Devin is done talking, you move on to the next screen with Bonnie. Now I want to go ahead and get this out the way, but why does Bonnie here look like Michael Jackson? Maybe it's just me, I don't know. Anyway, here with Bonnie you can select one thing to upgrade on Kit. Upgrade the gas to have more fuel, upgrade shields to have more health, upgrade the engine to go faster, and you can also add missiles and lasers. I'll talk more about this stuff later, but for now let's actually get to playing the game already. So this is it. You drive Kit in first person, and your objective is to keep up with the terrorists and defeat the boss at the end of each level within the time limit. I say they've done a pretty good job with Kit's dash. It looks pretty much like it did in the show. Here on the left hand side you have how much time is left as well as how much shielding Kit has. Yeah, Kit has shields apparently. Over on the right hand side you've got Kit's speedometer and fuel gauge. The TV monitor acts as a radar as well, and at the bottom right there's a screen that shows you what weapon you currently have equipped. The basic weapon is simply gun. According to the manual it's a .50 caliber machine gun. Yeah, you remember the episode where Kit has double machine guns and a frickin' missile launcher? I didn't think so. Where's all that stuff even supposed to fit on the Kit? He's a super advanced car, but he's still a car, he's not a tank. So basically you drive, shoot enemy vehicles, and avoid civilian vehicles. I found that you can basically ignore most of the obstacles by simply driving on the line between two lanes. You should still run into things, but you don't for some reason. Maybe Kit's in ski mode or something. The other and much cooler way to avoid obstacles is by turbo boosting, just like in the show. I have to admit it's very fun and satisfying to just jump over everything in the game, but don't go having too much fun because turbo boosting uses a lot of gas, and you'll be out in no time. You know, I don't remember Kit ever running out of gas in the show, just saying. Also, turbo boosting can sometimes screw you over, especially if you're going around a turn. Look at that. I crashed into a road sign. A road sign. In the show, Kit busts through shit all the time with ease, but in the game, a lowly road sign is your worst enemy. When you manage to get to the end of the first level, you have to fight an armored truck. The boss fights in the game are challenging, but they are easy enough to where it's not rage-inducing. Simply shoot, destroy, and continue on. Later bosses and levels get progressively more difficult. Enemy cars will throw dynamite, you'll go up against helicopters, and even civilians will get in your way. Use a turn signal, asshole. In total, there are 16 levels in the game, and if I want to catch those terrorists, I need to stop talking and start playing. At the very end of the game, you find out that Devin has been kidnapped by none other than Carr, Kit's evil nemesis. So you're back in LA again, just like you were at the beginning of the game. At the end of the level, you fight not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 bosses. Fortunately, your shields and gas reset after you beat each one. However, your ammo doesn't, so you'll have to play smart and conserve ammo. So after beating 2 trucks and 2 helicopters, you finally fight Carr. And he ain't no joke either. He deals and takes a ton of damage. But once you finally beat him, you get this. More incredibly slow text that you can't make go any faster. In all honesty, it's a good ending that sounds like it could have really been an ending to a real episode of the show. After the dialogue between everyone, the game goes to a screen saying that Michael and Kit have won this time, but each day they face new challenges and adventures. They could have been setting it up for another game, but there never was one for the NES. The game has flaws and changes some things from the TV show. Regardless, it looks good, plays well, and has fun dialogue just like in the show. It isn't the best NES game by any means, but it's certainly not the worst. I'm RC and I hope you enjoyed watching this video. And remember, one man can make a difference.